Hi, class.
Hello.
Hi. So today is April 5th, and we have some fun things planned today. So first, I want you to go and read the objectives that we have here. This is what we're going to get done throughout the lesson. So, Sarah, will you read the first thing for me here?
Understand thinking stems and how to use the thinking stems as you read.
So we're going to go over those thinking stems that we thought about yesterday.
Explain the stop, think, react strategy.
And just
Think about others thinking.
yeah, good job. So we talked about thinking stems yesterday. Does anybody remember what we said thinking stems help us do? Anybody remember? Do they help us? How do they help us while we're reading?
So understand what we read.
Yeah, they help us to understand what we read, and it helps us to think about what we're thinking using these thinking stems. Okay? Does anybody remember one thinking stem we talked about?
I predict.
There was I predict. Okay. Another one?
I wonder.
Vicky, do you know any? Do you remember?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, nice job. Okay. Sarah? Okay. Remember one this reminds me of? Remember that one? Right. Today reminds me of my mom. And that's why when I read, that reminds me of sunny days with my mom. So we have I predict, I wonder, I'm thinking. This reminds me of. Does anybody have any other ones here? Do you remember? There is. When you really are connected to the emotions of the person, is that, what are you?
I'm feeling.
Yeah, nice job. Feeling. And for the sake of time, we're just going to go over. So you said, I wonder, I predict, I'm thinking. I think you just missed two that we talked about yesterday. So really good job. I'm picturing. Okay? All right. And I'm noticing. That one we don't really have to use because it's kind of like the same here. But we're just going to write it down. And anything, as you read that you want to use these, you can. And that's what we talked about yesterday. So now is it kind of jogging your memory? All these different things, these thinking stems. All right, and we use thinking stems, like I said yesterday, to think about our reading. And there's one way that we can use this strategy. Sorry about the squeakiness here. And it's to stop, think, react to what we're reading. So stop, think, react. Just by looking at that, can anyone tell me what they think you do as you read? Stop, think, react. Justin?
Whenever you finish a particular amount of reading, whether it's paragraph or chapter or something like that.
Right, so whenever, Justin said, whenever you think about a passage or a part of the paragraph that you remember, you stop, think, and react to what you're reading. So it really helps you then to jog your memory and to really think about things that have happened and how you can connect to it. So that's the strategy we're going to use. It's called stop, think, react. Okay? And everyone say the strategy for me again?
Stop, think, react.
Good job. Okay. So now, I'm going to model how you use this strategy. Okay? And I'm going to use this passage here. This is called A Crayon is Born. Okay? Just by looking at that title, what do you think it's going to be about?
Someone making a crayon.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. So how the crayon is made, everything like that. Yeah, we'll see if your prediction is correct. So you predict then, right? title here is going to be about how it's made based on the title of it. Good job. Okay, so as I read, I'm going to stop, think, react to what I read. What are we doing? What's the strategy?
Stop, think, react.
Yeah, nice job. Okay. So this is taken from Scholastic, and all of you know what Scholastic is. It's what you guys read with. And you find passages that you like, right? We've done Scholastic before. So, in this passage, we're going to start with the first paragraph, and I'm going to show you how to stop, think, and react to what we're reading, okay? Can everyone give me a thumbs up, make sure I can understand? Okay, good job. All right, so this first passage here is the first paragraph. So I'm gonna have one of you read it, okay? Vicki, can you read this?
What if you could have jungle green hair and atomic tangerine eyes, hot magenta pants with a blizzard blue shirt? You can, when you use crayons. You can color yourself any way you want.
Nice job. So when I look at that, I'm picturing, right? I'm picturing the tangerine eyes. I'm picturing the magenta pants, okay? So I'm going to use this thinking stem, okay, right here. So I'm picturing then the tangerine eyes, okay? And that's what how I'm going to react to this passage, because I'm thinking magenta pants and tangerine eyes. That's a little silly. That's what I think about. So I'm just going to write that down right there, okay? All right. And second paragraph, okay? And Sarah, can you read that passage for me?
Life wasn't always so colorful. Though 100 years ago, all crayons were black. They were used in factories and shipyards to label crates and lumber. Kids couldn't use them because they were toxic.
Yeah. And I'm picturing all the factory workers and everyone using that black crayon. That's really interesting to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that. I'm going to write that I'm picturing all these workers in their factories, okay? Can you picture that? All the workers with their black crayons and all the lumber and everything else. So I'm going to put that up here, okay? Now, here comes your chance, okay? So, does everyone understand what I did here? I stopped, I thought about the different paragraphs, and I reacted then to what I'm thinking in my mind, okay? So, I'm going to have you guys do it. Now, in your bags there, you have your own popsicle sticks, okay? And your color is you today. It's what your thoughts are, okay? So, I'm going to paste this one up. You're going to think about your own thinking. I'm going to have you stop, think, and react, okay, to it, to the passage. And with your marker there, I'm going to say stop, think, react, and then I'm going to give you some time to write, and then you're going to put what you believe on the board here. And we're going to see if our thoughts are the same, okay? So, I'm going to have someone read it first. Justin, will you read this?
Then a company called Benny and Smith had an idea. They decided to make Crayola crayons for kids and teachers to use in schools. They figured out a formula that was safe and also decided to add color. The first box of 8 Crayola crayons included black, brown, blue, red, purple, orange, yellow, and green. All the crayons were labeled by hand. The box cost 5 cents. The crayons were a huge hit.
Okay, nice job, Justin. So I want you to stop and think and react using your popsicle stick, or I also included an index card in there. You can use that if your handwriting is a little big for the popsicle stick. And then once you're done, you can come up here. I'll give you a piece of tape and you can tape it on the board. Justin, yours might be a little hard because it's yellow and you're seeing that. Since people weren't if it comes today, I'm gonna give you the red so that you can really see it. Okay? Some people got a little sick today. Sarah, can you see yours? Yeah. Okay. Is everyone done? Once you're done, you can come, if you don't have a piece of tape, and you can tape it on there. There you go. Nice job. Okay. I have my own as well. Nice job, Justin. All right. And I have my own because the teacher gets to follow along too, right? So, I'm gonna put this on here. Whose color then was the blue? Okay, Vicki, can you tell me what this says?
I'm picturing the first box of crayons.
And what do they look like to you?
Based
Based on what you see there.
well, there are 8 different colors,
Uh-huh.
and they're in a box, and the labels are handwritten.
Right, so do you then remember a box of crayons that you had when you were littler than you are now? Okay, good. So you're picturing, and it reminds you of the box of crayons that you had. Very good job. Anybody else? So let's look at the next one, yellow. I believe that was Justin's.
It's me, and the passage makes me picture scientists making crayons safe in a laboratory, testing different formulas.
Right, and when you think about a laboratory, what are they wearing then?
Lab coats.
Because that's what I picture, right? I picture the lab coats and all these scientists coming together and thinking about this crayon here. Okay, Sarah, I can't really see yours. Is there any way that you can? That's fine. Yeah, has anybody had a macaroni and cheese crayon before? Yeah, have you not had it? Because you don't eat crayons, right? But ever used one? Maybe that's something we can create. Maybe we can do it ourselves. So my reaction to this was, I'm just thinking about all the labeling that they had to do with these crayons. It probably took forever, right? Label each individual crayon and how many boxes they were creating. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of labeling. Your hand hurts and everything else, right? I know when you guys write, you always complain to me that your hand hurts a little bit, so you always want to stop writing. So good job. Okay, now let's look at the next one here. And for the sake of time, we're just going to talk about what we are reading here, okay? So, Vicki, can you read the next one here?
Today, many companies make crayons, but Crayola is still the biggest. They take crayons very seriously, especially when it comes to color. For example, Crayola has a team of 7 chemists and chemical engineers who do nothing all day but develop new crayon colors. Their laboratory holds the unique secret formula to every crayon color. They blend different colors to come up with new shades. Once the engineers discover a new color they like, they test it on hundreds of kids.
Good job. I know that was a little tricky because Ms. Kline's handwriting isn't that good. A little bit jumbled, right? Okay. So what I want you to do is still use your popsicle stick, but instead come up and tell me what you're thinking, okay? And then once you have your thought, that's when you can come up with your popsicle stick and tell me, okay? When you are done thinking about your thought, you can just come up, not write it, but say it instead, okay? Because I know before you were talking and saying it. This time, I want you instead to think about it and then tell everyone else, and then since we wrote it here, we'll just talk about it here, okay? Okay, so the first person that has a thought, you want to come up with your popsicle stick?
So I'm wondering how many colors there are.
Yeah, that's a good
It seems
question.
like
You're
it.
questioning that, right? You're wondering, and you're questioning, and you're thinking about it. Maybe later on in the paragraph, in the passage, then maybe that question will be answered. We don't know yet. Good job, Justin. Thank you. Okay, so he was thinking about how many crayons and colors. Nice job. And I'm going to put it face down, even if you wrote it on the other side. I'm going to put it face down because it's kind of, we're thinking about our thinking, and then we can turn it over and then think about our thinking once we turn it over as well. That could be another strategy that we use, right? Where we don't know each other's thinking, but once we talk about it, then we can flip it over and see if everything is right. Okay, so Vicki? Because in this way, we're thinking really hard about our thinking.
I'm picturing all the kids getting to try all the different color crayons.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't you like to be a kid doing that? That's a lot of fun. Me, even as an adult, I want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And we're in Philly, right? So around Westchester. So guess what? You guys know it's a Crayola factory. You know where it is? It's in Easton. That's really close to us. So maybe one day we can go over there, and after this, we can try out our own colors. Maybe I'll plan a little field trip.
That would be a good field trip.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I remember we did that. Yeah. We got to see how the crayons were created. Okay. Sarah, do you have your thought? I'm just the same. I'm going to do the same thing with Vicki.
I'm picturing all the really large, mixing tubs of color in the factory, just rows of color.
Yeah, so she's picturing all the mixing tubs and everything like that. Really good job. Okay. Nice job, yeah? Because what we do here then, so it remains a kind of mystery. So in this instance, we did it together and we got to know our thoughts. But when I have you do it separately, you're not going to show each other what you're thinking. At the end, that's when we're going to do that. So I wanted to show you that in that way, okay? So good job, okay? So I'm thinking the same thing. These chemists and these chemical engineers all coming together and thinking about this. Also, like Vicki said, I would love to be a part of this process. That would be so much fun. And that's why I'm remembering them. And I went to the factory, and I got to see it for myself because that was really cool. Okay, so now I have two more. Okay, and we're just going to read and react without the popsicle sticks. Okay. So we are going to just get here, okay? Can someone then read this passage here? Once I tape it out. Anybody want to read that? You want Ms. Kline to read it? Yeah?
I'll read it.
Okay, thank you.
Then comes the hard part, figuring out what to name a new color. In 1993, Crayola introduced 16 new colors for its big box of 96 crayons. More than 2 million kids and adults wrote in with color theme suggestions. Some winners were Tickle Me Pink, which is a bright pink, Timberwolf Gray, Purple
Mountains
Majesty,
That's an interesting one.
Tropical Rainforest, bright green, Granny Smith Apple, light green,
Uh-huh.
and Marvelous.
Marvelous. Get it? Sounds
Marvelous,
like you're from Boston, right? Marvelous.
light pink.
Yeah. Okay, good job. So does anybody have any reactions once you stopped, thought, and reacted to that? So stop, think, and react to what you read. And remember, our thoughts can be the same because one person could have the same thought, and that's together, and another person could be thinking about something completely different that no one else has thought about. I'm just thinking about that big box of 96 crayons. I remember that too, and it just reminds me of my own pack of 96 crayons, as well as all these colors here that I've actually used before, and how it's so much fun that you were able to write in with the color, right? And that becomes then, it might become a crayon color. That's kind of cool to me, right? So I'm just thinking about that, and that's the way I'm reacting. So I stopped, thought, and reacted to it. Okay, so do you remember the strategy then? What is it?
Stop, think, react.
Yeah, so is that what we did? We stopped, thought about it, right? And we reacted then. And across the board, everyone has a different reaction than to what you read. All right, now comes the fun part, okay? I have your very own passage, okay? Right here, okay? So, what I'm going to do then, that. Lots of chalkboards here, right? Fun. Okay. And using your thinking stems that we thought about here, these ones, okay, which I wrote down here, I want you to do the same thing, okay? So this is called the history of gum. Now what I'm going to do is have these then on different desks, okay? And as you go along, I want you to use your popsicle sticks, okay, I want you to use your popsicle sticks then to discuss it, okay? Now that's why I made it in the way that I made it so that, remember in the last passage here, okay, we did it like that, right? Because I don't want you guys, once you pass here, I don't want you guys to see each other's reactions and that kind of sways you to think a different way, okay? So I want you, when you get to each station, and we're going to start, and then I'm going to read this, I'll say stop, think, react. You'll stop and think, right? Use your popsicle stick, just like we did up there, okay, to think about your thought, turn it over, okay? And then when I say keep going, you'll go to the next one, and the next one, and then at the end, we'll see how everyone reacted to each one. But remember, how do we have it face up?
No.
Right, keep it face down. Is it okay to use your index card?
Yes.
But what do you have to do with that? Yeah, put it face down. Everything is, it's like a mystery, right? Everything needs to be face down. Okay? So, there's 6 of them here. So, you're going to react to 6 paragraphs, okay? Okay, so, Sarah, can you explain to me what you're going to be doing?
So we're gonna go up to each of the paragraphs in the chairs and then react to them individually while putting our popsicle sticks face down so no one can see them.
Yeah, and I will say, stop, think, react. What you'll do is when you are done, you'll look up at me so that way I know you're ready. I'll say stop, think, okay, react, because our strategy is what?
Stop, think, react.
Yeah, I want you to stop, think, and react about that. Stop, think, and react strategy, okay? So you're gonna go around and you're going to stop, think, and react when I say to do that. And how will you tell me that you're ready?
I look at you.
Okay? Alright. So get up, if you don't mind. Okay. And this is the first passage. Okay? So I'll say go to the first person. Okay? So you'll be in a line. Okay? I'll say to the first person, you can go ahead. Okay? Okay, stop. Oh, go ahead. Okay, stop, think, and react to what you read. Nice job. Now, Vicky. All right. Should we both are ready? Look up at me. Okay.
Oh, we're both reading?
Yeah. So you're reading your second passage, okay? And you're reading the first. Okay, you ready? Once you're ready, Vicky, you can go ahead. Go ahead. Stop, think, and react. Stop, think, and react, Vicky. Stop, think, and react. All right, you ready? Nice job. Go on to the next one. Doing a great job. Okay, so what are you going to do?
Stop, think, react.
Yep. Nice job. Okay. Okay, Justin, what are you going to do?
Stop, think,
Yep. Nice job. Okay, Sarah, what are you going to do?
Stop, think, and react.
Yep. You got it. Good. Well, so I'm going to start reacting. Okay. Stop, think, and react, and then once you're done, I want you then to collect all of your popsicle sticks in order so that we know then. Sit back down. Nice job. Guys are doing a great job. What strategy are you using, Vicky?
Stop, think, react.
Uh-huh. Justin, what did you just do?
I stopped, I thought, and I reacted.
Yeah. We'll see then if our thoughts are the same as everyone else's. Or different, which makes it even more fun. Justin, I want you to. Alright, so while we're waiting for Sarah, how about you guys? And just talk amongst yourselves and then we'll come back together and talk about